With Wegovy, I've lost 35 pounds.
I lost 46.
I'm on Row, 34 pounds down on GLP-1s.
Ads for GLP-1s are taking over our social media feeds, billboards, and television screens, promising an easy way to lose weight. These drugs mimic the hormone GLP-1 to regulate blood sugar, slow stomach emptying, and reduce appetite. 1 in 8 adults say they are taking a GLP-1. And it's true that the drug improves lives by enabling people to lose weight and experience dramatic health transformations. But what is the mental health impact of being bombarded by these ads proclaiming that we need to lose weight? These ads shape how people think about the connection between weight and health, relying on the appeals of medical authority, convenience, and affordability in order to convince people of the necessity of weight loss through GLP-1s. They can be misleading and often fail to adequately address the risks, adverse effects, and complexity of GLP-1s and weight loss. The advertising for GLP-1s isn't actually illegal. However, companies utilize aggressive marketing tactics which violate the intent of Congress's Drug Quality and Security Act, passed in 2013, to protect patients from unsafe compounded practices. Online marketing often lacks transparency. 49.4% of websites selling these drugs fail to report adverse effects of warnings, and 36.7% misleadingly imply they are selling FDA-approved branded drugs when they are actually selling compounded versions. Additionally, many people find it easiest to obtain the drugs through sources like medical spas and online delivery services, as well as counterfeit alternatives, which can present additional health dangers and prevent medical professionals from acting as gatekeepers for GLP-1 access to potentially vulnerable individuals. GLP-1s might, on a medical and biological level, just be weight loss drugs. However, they should be considered in a broader psychosocial manner, especially when evaluating their relation to eating disorders and mental health. Although intended for people concerned about the health impacts of their weight and diabetes management, GLP-1s are often sought out by and marketed to people with negative evaluations of their bodies. In the UK, for example, interest in taking GLP-1s was 13.2% among people with a history of eating disorders, compared to 7.3% among those without, emphasizing how these drugs are able to target vulnerable people.
Social media platforms like TikTok advertise weight loss practices to increasingly young and at-risk audiences. GLP-1s are casually endorsed as magic drugs, often by celebrities and role models. Seeing personal narratives of experiences with GLP-1s, as well as the perception of a personal connection with social media personalities, creates a communal experience around GLP-1 assisted weight loss progress. Endorsements from people like famous athletes and influencers shape how positively people view GLP-1s. In fact, attitudes toward GLP-1s correlated most strongly to willingness to try them when they are recommended by famous athletes.
And I thought it was really important just to come out and say it. So I'm on a GLP-1 through Row.co. And so for me, like after having my first kid with Olympia, and then, in particular after having the second kid, I was never able to be at a healthy weight. You know what? After I had my kids, after I got a tad bit older, like my body was actually missing something. No matter what I did, I literally was playing professional tennis. Yeah. My coach is telling me, you have to lose weight. You have to lose weight. I'm literally training 5 hours a day, and I would always work my way to one point of the scale, and it would never go below that. Yeah. I tried it, and it actually worked.
The people most interested in trying GLP-1s and most willing to tolerate its side effects report higher levels of body shame, body surveillance, weight concerns, and disordered eating. Increasing interest is also correlated with higher BMI and anti-fat bias. The drugs are sought out by individuals with negative perceptions of their bodies, including self-objectification, which is linked with vulnerability to eating disorders. Indeed, individuals who are interested in GLP-1s for weight loss are often people who have a history of chronic body image concerns and desire for weight loss. Beyond people with body image concerns, interest in these medications is significantly higher among those with moderate to severe psychological distress, which is 10%, compared to those with low distress at 5.2%, suggesting that marketing targets people who are in a state of general distress.
These advertisements are intentionally manipulating us and target those who are already the most vulnerable. Being impacted by the images and ideas we are incessantly fed is not a personal failing. We must move towards stricter advertising regulations that require transparency about risks and the distinction between FDA-approved and compounded drugs. Public health messaging needs to shift from framing GLP-1s as miracle cures to discussing them as complex medical interventions that require psychological screening prior to prescription. The lack of strict advertising rules and corporate transparency regarding the promotion of GLP-1s can seriously impact our perception of our bodies, blurring the lines between health and weight and leading to serious mental health effects.